Once upon a time, in ancient China, there lived a great philosopher and teacher named Confucius. He was known far and wide for his wisdom, and people often traveled great distances just to hear him speak. But Confucius hadn't always been famous. As a young man, he spent much of his time observing the world around him, learning from nature, people, and everything life had to offer. One day, Confucius was walking through a village when he noticed a group of children arguing. They stood in a circle, each shouting louder than the others, trying to prove who had the best toy. "I have a ball that can bounce higher than the mountains," one child declared. Another child raised a kite to the sky and said, "But my kite can fly higher than the clouds." The third child, holding a beautifully carved flute, said proudly, "My flute makes music that is sweeter than the birds' songs." Confucius watched them for a while, smiling as he listened. Then, he approached the children and asked, "Why are you all arguing? Is it truly important who has the best toy?" The children fell silent, puzzled by the question. They looked at Confucius and wondered what he meant. Confucius bent down and, using a stick, drew a small circle in the dirt. "Look at this circle," he said. "This is what happens when we think only of ourselves. It's small, closed off, and leaves little room for others. When we argue about who is better, we make our world small, and no one is truly happy." The children stared at the tiny circle, understanding that it represented their fight. Confucius then drew a much larger circle around the first one. "But when we are kind to each other, when we share and celebrate what others have, our world becomes bigger, like this circle. There is room for everyone, and we all feel joy." The children looked at the large circle and began to understand. They realized that by fighting, they had made themselves unhappy. Slowly, they began to share their toys. The one with the ball let the others play with it. The child with the kite flew it for everyone to enjoy, and the child with the flute played a song that made them all smile. Confucius smiled warmly as he saw the children playing together. "Remember," he said, "true happiness doesn't come from what you have. It comes from how you treat others. When you are kind, you make the world a better place for everyone." From that day on, the children never argued about their toys again. They remembered the lesson Confucius had taught them and shared their joy with each other. As the years passed, the wisdom of Confucius spread across the land, and people learned to live with kindness and respect for one another. And so, the name of Confucius became known throughout China as a teacher of peace, kindness, and wisdom. The end. This version of the story shares the essence of Confucius' teachings, focusing on kindness, sharing, and the importance of creating a harmonious world through our actions. It's a simple yet meaningful story that children can easily understand.